with autistic kids in school. This episode of Raw Autism is about generalization with autistic kids in schools, and why it's one of the biggest reasons schools should allow ABA services on campus. Not as control, punishment, or replacement for teachers, but as collaboration for the good of the child. First things first, what is generalization? Generalization means, can a student use the skill in real life, not just in therapy? If a child learns to ask for a break, tolerate frustration, follow a visual schedule, and transition without aggression, but only does it at home with therapists, skill isn't functional yet. It's situational. School is where skills are stress tested. School is a different world for autistic kids. Home ABA happens in a controlled setting. School is a loud, fast-paced, socially complex, demanding, and full of transitions. A child might communicate beautifully at home, but completely shut down in class. That was me. Not because they forgot, but because the context changed. Different lighting, different expectations, different adults, different pressures. If we don't practice the skill in different settings, it doesn't generalize. Home, a student learns to ask to take a break. At school, when overwhelmed, they get aggressive, destroy property, elope, which is a fancy word for running, like escaping the problem, trying to leave the area. Okay. At school, when overwhelmed, they get aggressive, destroy property, elope, or injure themselves. In this context, elope means that they would leave the room. A lot of times, schools worry that ABA therapists will disrupt classroom flow, override teacher authority, focus only on behavior, and be compliance-driven. Those concerns are valid if ABA is done poorly. We'll discuss more in next week's episode, The Infamous History of ABA. Ethical, collaborative ABA supports IEP goals, aligns with classroom expectations, reduces disruptions, and decreases crisis incidents. It doesn't replace teachers. It reinforces skills in real time. What happens without generalization support? When schools deny ABA access, skills stay isolated to home, teachers see behaviors but not learning behind them, students get labeled inconsistent, crises increase, and staff burnout increases. Then everyone says they're not ready for inclusion, when really, inclusion wasn't supported. When ABA is allowed in schools appropriately, the therapist coordinates with teachers, goals align with IEP objectives, reinforcement systems stay consistent, language used at home matches language used at school, and data is shared respectively. The student experiences continuity instead of confusion. That's where real independence develops. If a child can relate with only one adult, communicate only in one room, follow routines only at home, they are still dependent on a very narrow environment. True independence means that the skills travel with them. The only way that happens is by practicing it where it's needed. Allowing ABA in schools isn't about giving therapy control over education. It's about acknowledging the truth that learning doesn't transfer automatically, especially for students who process context very specifically. Generalization is the bridge between therapy and real life. Without that bridge, progress stays fragile. With it, progress becomes sustainable. Schools that allow thoughtful, ethical ABA collaboration aren't lowering standards. They're increasing access, and access is what makes education real. Next week on Raw Autism, we dive into the infamous history of ABA.